It's time for the royalty to run. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Lindsay, aka SwishWilly, and I talk about all things Disney. So if you're into that sort of thing, please make sure you hit subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. The Princess Half Marathon weekend is fast approaching, and so is registration. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the races to make sure that you are prepared for registration day. I've already made a video on how to register for Run Disney race, and I'm going to pop that down below in the description box. So if that's what you're looking for, head over there. But if you want to know what races are upcoming, what the themes are, and all that fun stuff, stick around because I'm going to walk you right through it. Let's get started with your distances and pricing, because that's a big factor in these races. The 5K is going to be Ariel themed this year, and it's going to cost you $109.99 for the in-person race. If you want to do it virtually, it's going to look at $80. The 10K is Rapunzel themed, and I know there are a lot of Punzi fans out there, so that's pretty exciting. The cost point on the 10K is $150.99, or if you're running it virtually, it's going to set you back $95. This is the race that I'm personally excited for. I still have not decided if I'm going to be doing this weekend, but if I do, it will be the half marathon simply because it is Tiana themed. I'm a huge Princess and the Frog fan. The half marathon is going to be costing you $232, and to run it virtually, it's going to be $115. And of course, as with every Run Disney weekend, there is a challenge. The challenge is your 10K and your half marathon. And this one is Anna and Elsa theme, which makes sense. 2 princesses, 2 races. Well, I guess you have a princess and a queen. I can't keep up with Frozen. But anyhow, that was gonna be $389 if you wanna run it in person, and $248 if you want to do it virtually. Now, let's not forget about the bonus event that happens all over the course of this weekend. It is the Princess Yoga. Now, the Princess Yoga, if you don't already know this, is an hour-long yoga session in Magic Kingdom in front of the castle. They include a yoga mat and complimentary water. Now, this event's gonna cost you a very odd, bizarro number at $116.19. And remember that if you register for this one, this is a first come, first serve event, not in the way that it sounds, whereas like you register but you might not get in if you're the last person in. It just means that the first people in are gonna be naturally closer to the castle. So if that's important to you, get there early. Your event's at 5:30, so it's already gonna be an early morning. I always do this public service announcement to people who are new to Run Disney or haven't ran Run Disney in a very long time, and that is, please really think about the price of these races. They are not cheap, and they're non-refundable. So, if you are looking and you're kind of like on the fence and you don't know if you can get there for this race weekend, maybe don't register. Only because 1, it's highly sought after and goes very, very fast. 2, you don't want to lose that amount of money. It's expensive. So make sure you can commit to this weekend because you can't get your money back. And that includes if you like break a limb along the way. So be mindful of that. You cannot get your money back for Run Disney races, nor can you transfer your bib to somebody else. That's a big no-no. Don't let it happen. Disney's really cracking down on this, so bib sharing and bib selling and bib stealing, highly frowned upon and could cause you not to be able to run in future Run Disney races. So just don't do it. Now, another important thing is, when can you register? The Club Run Disney members have already registered. Their registration day was Tuesday, June 13th. The upcoming general registration is going to be the next Tuesday, so Tuesday, June 20th. And registration opens up at 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to run the virtual races, those come on the following Friday. So you're looking at Friday, June 23rd, again at 10 a.m. Eastern. Now, what does the cost of the in-person races cover? So you're going to be obviously getting your finisher medal. You get a participant shirt. You're essentially paying for all the entertainment and characters you get along the course. You run through the Disney parks. You get a digital event guide, which I mean, like, it's digital, so I don't really know if you have to pay for that. And depending on your race, I mean, there's always going to be a water station, at least. There's 1 water station for the 5Ks, but along the rest of the routes, there's gonna be multiple, and some even have nutrition stations. It depends on the length of the race, so you are paying for that. Lots of volunteers along there. It costs a lot of money to shut down the roads at Disney to organize this, so that's also what you're paying for. But you also get a lovely downloadable finisher certificate that you can get online. Again, It's digital, so I don't think you are really paying for that. For your virtual races, they are cheaper because you, one, are not running through the parks, two, you don't get the character or entertainment along the course. For this one, you're going to get a medal, a participant shirt, you have a downloadable and printable bib. You also have, this part's actually pretty cool, you can go online and you download the mile markers so you can print them out and stake them across your neighborhood or wherever it is that you're going to be running so you can get that real Run Disney in-person race feel. Next on the docket, we're going to talk about your proof of time and your pacing requirements. Proof of time usually is what throws people a little bit because if you're new to running, you don't likely have a proof of time, nor do you kind of know what that is. So a proof of time is basically a race time that you had from a previous race to prove how fast you run. In turn, will let Disney know where to place you in the corrals. So the only race that you're going to need to submit a proof of time for is the half marathon. You do not need that for the 5K or the 10K, but you do also need it for the challenge. So because there's a 10K in there, that's not what's calling for the proof of time, it's the half marathon. So if you plan to run the half marathon in under 2 hours and 15 minutes, that's where you need to submit the proof of time. You can do this either at the time of registration or go back into your Run Disney account and add it in, but you only have until Halloween to do that. So again, you only have until October 31st to submit this time. Another PSA from me. If you possibly can, try and get your proof of time well before the October 31st cutoff. For example, if you run a race in September and you get a great time and that's what you submit, you have from June 20th to September of when your race was, and when you submit, there could be hundreds, if not thousands of proof of times already submitted. So let's say your proof of time should be good enough to get you into the second corral. If the second corral has already hit their maximum number of participants with proof of time, you'll be shifted to the next available corral. It doesn't mean the third one, because if the third one is already booked solid, then you're going to have to go to the fourth, and so on and so forth. So the earlier, the better. Now, Run Disney's being very generous in their proof of time date range. So if you've ran a race from January 1st, 2021 through to October 31st, 2023, those are the ones that you can include. So if you haven't ran in 2 years, no problem. You can still register that one from 2 years ago. When submitting your proof of time, you need to make sure your race was USATF certified. Usually this just means that your bib was chipped and you have a result online and an official result online. You also need to make sure you have the name of the race, the distance, the location, so you want the city and the state, city and province, wherever you're from, the date of your race, and your finish time in hours, minutes, and seconds. And to prove that that was in fact your finish time, you need to also provide a link to the official results website. For your pacing, this has not changed in over 10 years because I've been racing Run Disney for 9 years now. Crazy. But it's always been a 16-minute per mile pace minimum, which means you should probably train for about 15 minutes per mile just to allow for any incidentals, any heat problems, cool problems. If you want to stop for characters, if you want to enjoy some entertainment along the course, just take that into account that you want to have a minute buffer from the actual minimum. Now, typically, if you're in a earlier corral, that 16 minutes can be extended out a little bit, but still train for 15 minutes just so you have that little bit of nice cloud buffer that you don't feel like you're going to get swept. Those buses are scary. No matter where you are on the course, no matter how good you're doing or anything like that, when you see the buses, you are hoping to God that that bus is not waiting for you. Now, I mentioned earlier about no refunds and all that fun stuff. That includes if the race is canceled for any reason. They are rain or shine, but they can get canceled if there's lightning in the area or if there's extreme heat, extreme cold. It really has to be the extremes. Now, with lightning though, it can just be delayed, or they may put a stop on the course and then keep it going once it clears. So if lightning is within a 7-mile range coming in, they will cancel or delay. If it's in a 7-mile range moving outwards, that's when they'll restart the race. We did see a half marathon in the past get canceled due to weather, so be mindful that it does happen. They don't have to give you a refund like I mentioned. It's in the fine print when you're registering, However, it's Disney and they usually try to do something, whether it's deferring a race to the next year or potentially a gift card, but it's not guaranteed, nor do they have to do it. So it's kind of in like goodwill that they'll do that. So it just depends on their mood this year. This was a nice quick video because who wants to sit here for 20 hours trying to figure out what the races are all about? So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you dropping in here and checking this out. So make sure you hit subscribe and click the notification bell because course map videos definitely happen. You'll see those on my channel as they become available closer to race date. So all your race needs are right here. Have an awesome day.